Hey everybody, hi, how are you tonight? Oh my gosh, it sounds echoey to me. Let me know if it sounds echoey to you. So far, we'll just proceed. Hey, it's me, it's Gretchen, and I'm here with another story time tonight. We're keeping it real, number 31. So, I hope everybody's doing well tonight. If you're making it on, if you're catching this on a replay, um, these are just some stories around the holiday time that my grandkids enjoy, that my students used to enjoy. And these are just for you to have to listen to share with your kids, your grandkids. Sometimes pulling out a book, you wish you could read it and you don't have it, or you remember it from sometimes. Hi, Gloria. And you just don't have the book. So hopefully, maybe you can pull these out. Hey, Gloria's here. How are you? Weren't the Mousy Boys bubbles pretty today? Oh my gosh. It was funny because this morning we had Layla and Lachlan here overnight, as you remember. And Lachlan, of course, got up really early, but he didn't wake his sister up this time. Yay, thank you. Anyway, we were up moving around, going on, and he and his grandpa decided to go take Aldo for a walk. So I nabbed Layla and I said, "Do you want to do some ornaments, pour over ornaments?" Because I had some already set with some styrofoam and popsicle sticks, and I use a plastic lid underneath, on top of the styrofoam, and then put the popsicle stick through the plastic lid, and then the ornament sits on top of it. So it makes it so that it catches the drips and can have some pretty cool skins. So she and I did. We had done this last year with the kids, and they really liked it. And I had still had a bunch left over. So she and I did some, and then of course Lachlan came back and he wanted to do some. Good thing I had the trays underneath, because a 4-year-old and a squeeze bottle. Oh my goodness. But he had fun. So we just had paint that was pre-mixed in squeeze bottles. They used those, add some glitter, and it was just great fun. And then to see the Mousy Boys doing theirs was really pretty. It was fun to see that. Anyway, I was thinking about what story, and this is actually one of the stories I read to the kids last night before bedtime. Grandma Goo always reads to the kids before they go to bed. And actually today we lost power, and their mom was picking them up supposedly around noon or 12:30 or so, and we lost power around 11:30. And so boom, I grabbed a bunch of books and we sat down and read some more. So it was fun thing to do. And Saturday night Artapalooza. Oh my gosh. Well then, you know what? Let's get this story done so we can go join them. How's that? Tonight is Christmas Trolls by Jan Brett. Now, Jan has written and illustrated this book completely. I met Jan years ago. In fact, for my 30th wedding anniversary, Bob wrote to her and got a signed copy of a book called The Owl and the Pussycat. It's a poem by Edward Lear for us for our anniversary, because it was just a special thing for him to do, because he knew I used to read that poem a lot to the kids. But Jan is well known for her art. Let me take you up. And in her specialized art that she does, she researches every culture that she writes a book about and goes into, and researches it oftentimes and goes and spends months in the country. Oops, what's going on with my skip ads? I thought I had a fireplace back there. And then she writes these wonderful stories, but she's known for spending a lot of time and very detailed illustrations. In fact, if you look at the front here, in some of her books, it takes her an hour for a square inch. of her work, especially in the border work that she does. So, Christmas Trolls, written and illustrated by Jan Brett. This one, 1996. Did I get this one? Yeah. Okay. And I'll give you a little hint about Jan's books and about what to watch for. So she tells a story in the story itself, but in almost all of her books, the borders tell another story, or they'll have an enhancement to the story. So I'm going to sneak it up here so you can see the border. Hedgehogs are often frequent within some of her books, and I wonder if my camera is. Oh, it's not. Well, we'll just have to move it back, of course, so you can see. So, I'm Treva, and the day my brother Sammy and I went to our neighbor's farm to pick out a Christmas tree was the beginning of the most unforgettable Christmas I ever had. As we went home through the forest, with a perfect tree packed on the sleigh, Tuffy started sniffing and barking. I couldn't see anything, but I felt sure that someone was watching. You see up here in that. Oh, I have my rune things underneath. It's kind of distracting. You know what? That makes it hard to see. I'm just going to take my Scandinavian rune off. There. I can adjust that. Then it's not so distracting from the book. And here you see the N. Over here you'll see an O and an E and an L. So a lot of the pages have no L on them. And then over here there's another little guy here. Just thought somebody was watching us. When we arrived home, we forgot all about the forest. Mom and Dad brought out our boxes of ornaments to decorate the tree, and Sammy and I put evergreen wreaths and mistletoe and holly all around the house. We'd already wrapped our presents and hidden them for Christmas morning. The details. Oh yeah, Owl and the Pussycat. Oh my gosh. Then some of our Christmas decorations started to disappear. I didn't notice until Dad asked if we had moved the trinket box he had hidden for Mom. I shivered because Mom had just asked us the same thing about the mittens that she had knitted for Dad. And I don't know if I can expand that to see, but you could see that maybe. There. Can see that little guy? The little hedgehog. He's got the trinket box. Now I'll go back to full size. Sammy and I looked in all the usual hiding places, but we couldn't find them. Tuppy was acting strange, too. He sniffed and barked and ran around in circles as if he were looking for something. I'm going to take the cover off. Here you can see, I'll pull those up that way. There's the hedgehog with the mittens. I know the details of the illustrations are just beyond amazing. Then a few days before Christmas, the treetop angel was gone. What would be next? I started carrying my favorite red horse everywhere. Early the next morning when I went to feed Arnie, I saw something flying across the snow. It was our Christmas pudding. What? I harnessed Arnie, bells and all, and raced after it into the forest. As I got closer, I could see that our pudding was being carried along pincushion to the top of a hedgehog. I didn't know what to do, so I yelled, "Stop! Come back!" But it didn't stop until it reached the bottom of 4 fir trees. The hedgehog put the pudding down and scampered off. Just then the trees started rocking back and forth. Suddenly, a funny-looking ladder dropped from above, and 2 trolls scurried down, pouncing on the pudding before I could even move. They pulled it back and forth as they went up the ladder, scrabbling all the way to the top. Squabbling. So look at the little hedgehog is looking. There's little feet. I love the markings on the trees. That's why I had the runes out earlier, because they oftentimes match the runes. I climbed right up after them and looked inside. There on the floor of their troll house were all of our Christmas things in a heap. The trolls were grabbing at them, each one wanting what the other one had. There's the little hedgehog. Hey, trolls, I called. Those are our Christmas things. The trolls dove into a pile, clutching our gifts. Mine, they clamored. Mine, mine, mine. I looked at them and had to smile. Their shirt tails were hanging out, their pants were torn and patched, their cheeks were bright red, and their hair was standing straight up from all the pulling and tugging at each other. Christmas, they wailed. We want Christmas. You want Christmas? I asked, puzzled. Yes, they shouted. Give us Christmas. Well, you can't just take Christmas, I said. And the trolls looked surprised. They squeaked, they gulped, they shuffled their feet. Want Christmas, they said, sounding miserable. Okay, you can have Christmas, but first, what are your names? Mig, said one. Tig, said the other. I looked around their messy hut. Mig, Tig, let's begin by getting your house ready for Christmas. I started to straighten up and put things away, and they began to help. Nice, I said when we had finished. Now let's make your house look like Christmas. See, the hedgehog is bringing the things. We went outside and gathered evergreens, berries, and pine cones. Now we need a Christmas tree, I told them. That's easy. You live in trees, so we can have 4 trees instead of just 1 if you want to. Christmas trees, they shouted, jumping up and down, and we decorated each of the trees that held up the troll house. Tig and Mig had a small setback on the way back to the hut. I knew I had some more explaining to do. When I first got here, you were snatching things for yourselves and acting really grumpy. Try playing together and having some fun. Fun? They asked. I showed them how to jump rope. I told them how much I liked their tail knots and earrings. They smiled shyly and started tucking in their shirt tails. Nice hair, pretty belt, they said, grinning at me. And they taught me a little troll dance. They were catching on. There's the angel. Now, if you really want Christmas, you must be generous with each other. If you do that, you will have Christmas right here in your own troll house. The trolls cocked their heads and squinted. They were trying hard to understand. How? They pleaded. I felt my red horse in my pocket. I knew I had to show them, so I took it out and gave it to them. This is for you. Look at their faces. The trolls squealed and jumped up and down with glee, and they took turns passing my horse back and forth, happily playing with it together. It was time for me to go home. I slipped out quietly and climbed down to Arnie. To my surprise, their hedgehog had packed all of our presents on the sleigh for me to take home while we were having Christmas in the troll house. On Christmas morning, Sammy and I ran downstairs to find our tree alight with candles and stockings filled, and we opened our presents in front of the fire. Notice the hedgehog coming with a package right here. But this Christmas was full of surprises. I heard a bumping and scratching noise, and Tuffy barked, and I listened and followed the sounds, and outside on the doorstep was a Christmas present. I unwrapped it and found a wild and wonderful troll horse, pig! Mig, I exclaimed. When I held it, I knew for sure that the trolls understood Christmas, and I knew that this was the best Christmas ever. And there they're playing with her little one. Even the cover inside the dust jacket, the mittens, all the different things. Just a wonderful kind of book. She has each one, all of her books are just amazing. She has another one called Trouble with Trolls that's set similar to around Christmas time and in the snow areas. She spent a lot of time in Finland with Laplanders and came to understand and looked at their costumes, or not their costumes, but their clothing that they have, their traditional, what they wear all the time when with the reindeer and the different kinds of harnesses. So it's really fun to see her things. Yes, they are very beautiful illustrations, Gloria. Really beautiful illustrations. So that's it for stories tonight. I have Angie's over on Artapalooza. I think that we ought to go join them over there. I think that would be fun. And I'm going to kick back for a little bit. It's been a long day. Had grandkids here for part of the day. Probably, yeah, just one of those things. And but that they bring me such joy. I hope, Gloria, I bet you know that type of thing for you. If you have grandkids, they bring a lot of joy. I find energy where I didn't think I had it. So yes, it is a sweet story. I think her illustrations always have so much more to go through. Even my 4-year-old grandson was going back and he was looking at each corner going, oh, and he would find each one, and then, you know, we would look for the letters where it said Noel and the different parts, and he was just thrilled. It's always fun to see all her, it's always fun to see all of her illustrations and what she does like that. So anyway, oh, there it goes again. I chose the wrong Yule log. I thought I had a Yule log that would play all the way through in the background there. Keeps going to commercials. Anyway, that's it for tonight for story time. And just thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, Gloria. And I will see you the next time. And until then, you know, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around us and it's in the mirror. See you soon.